The who is really subordinate to the how. The who is usually determined by the how. The who you are when you look in the mirror is usually that same reflection that is cast out upon the world. How we view ourselves is in essence how we turn our eye to the outside world and view the same world in the exterior sense. The interior and the exterior then become matched. Usually unhappy people with themselves are unhappy with others. Usually people who are content with themselves find contentment in others at the same time. So here's a challenge. Look at the Torah reading this week, which is called Bo, and take the challenge of how it is to be read in terms of the way that one perceives oneself. Here are two different readings. Bo el Paro, God says to Moses, go into Pharaoh. But if we're to interpret those words literally, it's not go into Pharaoh. Bo means not go, but it means come into Pharaoh. A possible reading of that text could then be, come unto Pharaoh. Why would you come into Pharaoh? Because God is in all things. Therefore, when you come to Pharaoh, you're coming to me. God, in other words, is inside of Pharaoh, the arch enemy of the Jewish people, the one ultimately who wants to exterminate the Israelites. God can be found in that individual at the same time. And staying with this interpretation for a moment, then we come to the phrase, Hichbadati libo. God says to Moses, I've hardened his heart. Hardened, Hichbadati, also means honored, or something which is full of gravity. In other words, that gravity or gloriousness not only is found in Moses, in the victim, but is also at the same time ensconced deep within the victimizer. In other words, redemption can be found not only within the self, redemption also has to be found in the other. We are all, as it were, made in the image of God. Even those who act out, even those who commit atrocities, even those who are evil. We should never, therefore, take lightly the fact that even when a person commits a terrible crime, and they need to be punished by law, we should never take joy in that. Never feel ourselves elated when another person falls, hurting, full of pain, even if we feel that justice has been dispensed in the process. Here's another reading on the same text. Bo el Paro means come into Pharaoh. The Kotzker Rebbe says, since God is in every place, what God is really saying to Moses is Pharaoh is inside of you. Inside of your heart, says the Kotzker Rebbe, to Moses no less, is the one who seeks to enslave you. The worst arch enemy that you will ever have in your life is not Pharaoh, is not Torquemada, nor Hitler, Yamach Shemo, but your own worst enemy is your own self. And to truly vanquish and conquer this enemy, one needs to root out the enemy at its root, at its source, which of course rebounds upon us. Think, consider, which of the readings is you? Which of the readings best represents where you come from? Or do we turn back to the more traditional understanding of Bo el Paro, go unto Pharaoh, and say, let my people go? Shabbat Shalom.